starting off, South America and Netherlands. Netherlands playing Gouki. What's this deck about? We haven't seen this yet in the tournament. Anyway, what's your thoughts on it?
To be honest, this is my deck of choice this format. I think it's really good. Its combo is really strong. It's consistent. It's a combo often needs like 2 cards, so unlike Pendulum, you can play a lot of tech stuff in there, like hand traps. So I think it's really good because you can play Ash's Trolls and still have all the full combo power of any other good combo deck for this format.
Okay, because I honestly, this is the deck I've played least, if at all. I know little about it, but everyone was quick to dismiss it, and it didn't seem to have the most success at all of any of the decks at the Premier events and stuff. Why do you think that is? If you guys need any cards, booster boxes, packs, sleeves, anything at all Yu-Gi-Oh related, then please check out YJOCity.com and make sure you use the promo code FarfaFIGO for 5% off all of your orders.
If for some reason people don't seem to play it, or the better players don't seem to play it, I know for a fact, like at New Jersey, I didn't see that many, and then there were some that did well. It did the next best after Sky Striker Trickstar, but a lot of good players chose not to play this deck, and I don't know why. It is very underrepresented. A lot of regionals for Worlds points, and I have seen 1 in the last 5 weekends of playing. Like I've played against 1. That's not much at all.
So what are we looking at with this hand here? It doesn't look like they have any hand traps. Well, maybe not yet.
Yes, so this hand is a little scary because it's a little weaker to hand traps, opening up 5 Goukis. But it's fine. They add 2 rematches here to play on Ghost Bell because if they get belled, you want to be able to... rematches, you can activate 1 a turn, so if it gets belled, you can use the second one. They don't need more Goukis. They opened up 5. So if there isn't a hand trap on the South American side, then this will be the full Gouki combo, which is typically the extra link with a Trigate, and that's pretty much indestructible because the extra link also involves having a Goblin and a Phoenix on field.
So what do you think about like what kind of cards are you playing to like combat, you know, the sort of hand trap? I mean, like you do kind of just like lose to a Droll, surely, right?
Yeah, Droll is for sure the hard. If there's no call by the Grave, Droll usually ends the turn. Sometimes you can still make some stuff. Like with this hand, if they got Droll, they could still make a live Firewall linked to it, as well as keeping a follow-up for the next turn. Same with Ash. Both would have pretty much the same result. But typically Droll is really hard to deal with. Ash too. Ash is the next best hand trap against this deck. But after that, they get a lot worse. This deck can play through hand traps a lot better than people think. Like, when you open up Suplex with another Gouki, and Ash doesn't do as much, because if you get Ashed on the Izole effect, special from the deck, then you can just rematch 2 back, make a Goblin, extra summon, make a Firewall, and you're fine.
And what about extenders and stuff? Like, because we've seen like a full Gouki hand here, basically. What options does this deck have to push through like hand traps on any stops?
I think there's 2 like logic lines you can take. There's the rank 3 version, which I've in the past been more of a fan of, although I've been getting away from, and that is using stuff like Junk Ford and Rotting Captain Instant Fusion for level 3s, and then you can make Invoker, and that just 1 Invoker resolving is your full combo. And also, they're good because if you play a lot of level 3 hand traps like Ogre, Bell, and Ash, Ash plus any of the level 3 starters like Instant Fusion is the full combo because Invoker. And that's a more consistent build, although with not playing as many level 3 hand traps anymore because they're not as good as Trickstar, you don't want to play as many of those level 3 cards aren't as good because you can't have like Bell, Marauding, and make a play. If it's going to be Droll and Marauding Captain, that's not because that's not that popular. The level 3 hand traps, those level 3s aren't as good. They're still more consistent than other version strikers. They have more utility. The tokens being 1 card is really good to break boards going second. And when Engage draws a card, that's obviously really, really good. Also, the one big advantage consistency-wise to Sky Strikers, the one upside there, is that if you open up one level 5 or 6 tribute monsters, you can make a token, Kagari, add back, use the token again, and then tribute the Kagari for level 5 or 6, and that's your full combo. Whereas if you had Rotting Captain Junk forward, they don't synergize with level 5 and 6 dudes.
Well, you certainly are an expert on your deck, because that's just went all over my head. But I'm sure everyone watching will be very appreciative of your knowledge there. But one question that I have really is, is this viable in Europe?
So I haven't really messed around with the idea of no Link Rebo too much, just because I don't really have a reason to. I don't have any tournaments in Europe until, I guess, YCS London. So. Mm-hmm. And I do not expect this deck to be the same or around at all by then. So I haven't really thought of a new combo that I do, but I'm sure there's a new combo that is nearly as good.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, sometimes Link Rebo is really good. Just to bridge some combos where your hand is awkward. Something cool I like to do versus like Trickstars is you can leave an Octo Stretch on the field with a Link Rebo on the grave, and on your opponent's turn, bring back the Link Rebo, tribute Octo Stretch, so it helps stop some of the pressure that Trickstar does because you can reduce the damage, and then you're also keeping up a flow of Gouki monsters, which is really good. That's something you lose, I guess, in Europe.
Yeah, it seems like just Link Rebo itself allowing you to have all these extra plays is really, really strong. I don't know.
It is really strong, but I don't think it's a necessity for the deck.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's just fast forward this first turn here and just see what the end board is.
It should have been nearly done.
And there we go. Okay, so they South America checks their hand and scoops. So really unfortunate. I mean, what do you do in that scenario? You don't draw the hand traps. They draw the combo. You kind of just it's whatever. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, I suppose. But now that you're probably, I don't know, I mean, what do you do? What do you side? Your opponent checked their card and scooped. Do you kind of side for going second? What's your game plan at this point?
So from the Gouki player's perspective, I do think you decide to go second. Pure Sky Striker, I guess, occasionally blinds second, but I don't think it's correct to assume that's what's going to happen. You just assume you're going to go second. And the weird thing about this tournament is you can't play the same deck twice. So you can't just assume they're playing Trickstar Sky Striker, because that is the most popular deck. You have to just assume they're playing something that's the second or third best deck. So normally, if this wasn't this particular tournament, I'd probably expect a Sky Striker variant inside according to that. But because of this tournament, I'm not sure what I do. I guess I'd side in some hand traps, because that is better going second, but I'd be very conservative. I wouldn't overside into any matchup.
Mm-hmm. And we've got a hand with Ash Forward and Moon Mirror. And we are...
Moon Mirror. I'm not a fan of that card.
Oh, yeah. What are the options that you play for Isolde, right? I mean, you have the Blade. Anything else?
So there are a bunch of quest spells. So the Divine Sword Phoenix Blade is by far the best one. That one's just for your combos. And then the other ones are Noble Arms Arthrodatir, which lets you pop back row. Once or twice
a cool little interaction you can do with that, right?
Yeah, if you equip it and then link wave for Isolde, it re-equips to the Isolde, so you can pop 2 back row, or set cards. So face that monster too, I guess, if that ever came up. Yeah. But that card is really good in my opinion. I think that's the best one. And then there's also a Tarn's Action Unit, which is decent, and Overdone Burial, which are both extenders. And then within a week or two, when BLR comes out, you can use Living Fossil, which is kind of like Premature Burial. It basically brings back any level 4 lower, its effects negated, and it's banished from release the field. It's just a decent equip spell. The reason Moonmare Shield is played is because you can equip it, and when it leaves the field, you can put it back on top of your deck. So your Isolde is always live, although I think if I draw the card, I'd rather just have a live card than play Moonmare Shield, because its effect is so irrelevant. Meta. Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense. And it looks like we're going to see Shizuku and two back row. I guess you just ash this in this scenario, yeah?
So there's 2 lines of thought here. You could ash it here, or you could hold it for a shared ride, which is probably the biggest threat you have to your hand besides Stolen Lockbird. That's probably what I do. In a worst case scenario, they don't have shared ride. You could just ash something on their turn. Ooh, that sucks.
So your equips are pretty much like Garnets, other than, I guess, Overdone or
Well, I actually found that against like the Sky Striker deck, the Noble Arms is like extremely powerful. So right here, if they hadn't drawn Phoenix Blade and they had the Noble Armors in the deck, it's just game. Because they can pop a back row, normal summon, make Arthrodotier, make Isolde re-equip, pop the second back row, and then go off and they're dead. And even if they have hand traps, they've lost 2 cards for the quick spell alone. Yeah. But here is the reason why you want to play Moonmare Shield. If you draw both equips, you can equip the Moonmare Shield, blink away, and then Moonmare Shield goes back to your deck. So I guess this is the one time that playing Moonmare Shield is the best one.
Mm-hmm. So specialing jump forwards. Any response here? Looks like that's okay. Super X. That's okay. Bringing down Headbat. And yep, so we're doing the play that you just talked about there, where you get to put the Moonmare back to the top of the deck. So let's see if he has a response to this Isolde. Doesn't look like. Okay, draw.
Yeah, there's a draw. That one hurts a lot.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you can like? Because yeah, I guess it's like 1, 2, 3 is the links, and then I mean, if you think they have draw, do you search something else, or do you just kind of go with it like you would normally?
It's hard. I do think you should have searched a rematch, although I don't know if it would have mattered in this spot. Oh yeah, a rematch is better. It's because you can do more, because he already has access to 2 Goukis in the field. The issue is like you can't do a lot with the Headbat right now. One issue I don't think they realize is that if they hadn't got Draw and Lockbird, then they had Ash instead for the Isolde, and you Headbat, discard the Scorpio, special summon itself, you can't make a Nightmare using the 2 Headbats because they have the same name. And that like would actually stop their plays. So I think they're trying to play around the Ash, I guess, by getting the Headbat and leaving the Headbat on field. But this is like still weak to Ash, so I think adding rematch is correct here. Although, yeah, like right now they can't do much. So
he's got Ash. Well.
They had Ash and draw. Okay, yeah, this was like uncontrollable then.
So not a great position here, but let's see if they can come back from it. I'm going to attack over the Shizuku, and any end phase we have.
Oh, that's game.
Yeah, this is really, really good. So let's see where they go from here.
I was about to say, if they had rematched, they could have done a little more, but nothing can help them versus the Scapegoat. They would have lost anyways. So this game is probably just going to be over now.
So we've got Link Credo, Spider, Phoenix.
Oh, this is the Trickstar variant. They just haven't drawn Trickstar cards.
Yeah. Which is probably like the weaker hands in this deck. You know, you want to see the Trickstar cards more than the Sky Strikers. So you get a search there for the Super.
Did they draw? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just.
I think they just made a little technical error. It's supposed to draw before he searches, but I guess it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. Turn players would be first there, but going for top logic.
Well, no, just because the Cerberus has to resolve fully before Headback can activate.
Oh right, okay, my bad. So yeah, going for Bomber Dragon here, and that's, I mean, if you have drones, like, you just kind of can't really do anything, can you?
That helps them play, but this is hard for sure. There are a couple things you can do. It's not like a hopeless scenario. Having both the quick spells hurts a lot.
Yeah. So junk forward coming down with Super X activating it.
So one cool way you can beat Bomber Dragon in Goukis is you put a Cerberus under the Bomber, and because it's combed, it can't be destroyed. And then you can start linking next to the Cerberus, and all your guys can't be destroyed by card effects. That's how you deal with it. The other way is Unicorn, and those are your 2 standard ways to beat them. Hard Warlord.
So you would special junk forward and normal, I guess you would normal Super X.
Yeah, this is all right now. You just want to put as many monsters on the field to bait out the Bomber Dragon.
Yeah. So they're having a little think here. And yep, they're going to go for the drones. Is that correct, do you think?
Probably.
So that is going to pop the whole field, and
If there's a rematch here, that's 100% correct. Oh, that too, I guess. Or sorry, reincarnation if they have reincarnation. Because if they have reincarnation, they can banish the rematch and then bring back Licorice again for Bomber's second trigger.
All right.
I'm interested to see if that's what they have.
So he's going to get 2 draws here off the ride. Jump into the taxi. All right. So, interesting point. Both players on fairly equal advantage. Do you keep kind of pushing here, or?
Yeah, this is pretty rough. I personally think I'd take quite a while here to decide what to do, because this is pretty hard. I don't think there's a way you can kill your opponent at the same time. All your plays involve like giving your opponent like 2 cards at least.
So let's see what he opts to go for. Going to go for rematch, targeting Rescorpio and Headbat. Oh, they are playing the bell there.
And that's pretty much this game.
I mean, do you think it's an option to just like not use bell and like just get draws and stuff, or do you think it's better to just stop?
It depends what they had face down and what the card in hand is. It's so hard because if they don't have a follow up, I think I would have held the bell and just drawn more. But if they have a follow up, just end their turn attack and kill them. So let's see. If they don't have any offensive cards to just deal damage, then I think that was probably wrong.
So normal summon.
Oh yeah, that's just game. Okay.
Yep, 45 life. Game 3. So game 3, you go in first. You're probably in a very sort of good position.
Yeah, because even if you get hand trapped, you end with just cards on field your opponent has to clear. Because if they don't clear your entire field, then you just start off your turn with so many resources to make links with that you don't even have to use a normal summon for. So, like, it's really good. Like, half the time I get drolled, I just leave like 2 Goukis and then Izole on field, and my opponents can't kill all 3, they lose. And if they do kill all 3, they have to use so many cards that the next turn I still win anyways. I think it's really, really hard for a Trickstar to win going second in this matchup.
Yeah.
Assuming the Gouki deck draws okay.
Ooh, hello. Pointer.
That's a cool card. That card is one of my favorite cards. Like a pseudo trap dust shoot. So play around sphere mode, evenly match with that card. Or even if you get hand trapped, you can rip the best card in their hand, and then the game doesn't last long enough typically if they'll get the card back. It's 2,000 life. It's definitely worth it.
So really, just it's there to kind of stop any wacky going second cards like sphere mode, and just making sure
evenly kaijus. It's just like, even if you get hand trapped, it's like, I guess, kind of like Mind Crush. It's just a trap that can be changed to light stage, so it's not like, or can be used before light stage hits the field, and then it lets you just stop your opponent from playing.
So we got instant fusion here as well.
So this hand is pretty good here. You don't need to do that.
Don't need to
instant fusion there.
I mean, like, just 2 warriors on the field's like fine, right?
Yeah, they can just play with Izole and this. Not the Izole, the Suprex and the Headbat, and that's fine. And then hold the instant for when they need it. Because this is kind of like where they were game 1. They don't need the extra monster on field. It's until like get hand trapped. Because what you do if you don't instant here is just make Izole with the 2, add another Headbat, a rematch, and then a Bear Hug. The Bear Hug off Izole, you're just not going to use it. And then if you get ashed on Izole, you still have rematch, and you're fine.
So let's see. Declaring the chain links here and seeing if there is going to be a draw at all. Doesn't look like it. All right, so I guess we're free to fast forward and see exactly what he's going to end with.
Yeah, this is pretty much game now.
Yeah.
It's full combo again.
It's so ignorant. Like, I just don't get how this is okay, but whatever.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. This deck takes 2 cards to combo off.
I'd be curious to see if they're able to play. I mean, what is there any in-engine outs to this kind of field at all, or like you can link away for Mermaid?
No, there's like So the only technical out there is in a Sky Striker variant is jamming waves. If they don't put up the Cerberus, which sometimes they won't, it'll just leave up the firewall. Okay, they're doing it here. If they don't put up, you put 3 spells in the grave and pop your own card with jamming waves then. But like you're not fighting through this board, draw Ash and a pointer. They need 2 sphere modes.
Literally 2 sphere modes, yeah. That'll do the trick.
2 sphere modes. But even then, like there's not going to appoint one of the sphere modes. They'll appoint something else and then just hope off the entire deck as well. Because if they sphere mode you, they still need to be able to do something else. Otherwise, they're just going to die anyways. Because there's still a rematch in hand as well. Yeah, and that's just...
Yeah. So, not the most interactive game we saw. Very curious to see what he was going to choose with the Lotus there, but I guess, yeah, as you said, with the hand traps backing up, not really much. So I think South America got a grand total of 1 turn in those 3 games. Any closing statements?
They got
or
2.
thoughts?
They got 2 in game 2.
Oh, nice. Any closing statements and thoughts on the deck before we round this off?
I think... I don't know. I think this kind of showcases why I think Gouki is the best deck. Like, going first, it's so free. And game 2, if there wasn't a shared ride and draw on the second turn, like, it would have been a lot different. But, like, if the Trickster deck doesn't draw those specific cards, then it gets out of control really fast. And I don't know. I just think this Gouki deck is incredibly strong. And going first with this type of board is just so obscene not to want to play. This is 2 cards to do all this. Yep.
Just he's a generic 2 cards as well. So super consistent. Well, guys.
Yeah, you just need a Gouki and then a Warrior on field, and you got the combo.
Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, we're probably going to be seeing a few more Goukis throughout this tournament, as I believe this is the only Gouki that was played through all of round 1. So, yeah, thanks everyone for joining me, and of course Jesse for commentating. We should be back for the next one soon, and until next time, farewell.